We have ourselves another blockbuster deal. The Patrick Kane trade is now officially taking place. Kane's off to the Rangers. We'll discuss the full details coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. It's the end of an era in Chicago with longtime great former first overall pick and arguably the greatest Blackhawk of all time, or at least one of them. I think you can make an argument that he very well might be the greatest Blackhawk of all time. Patrick Kane. The trade is taking place now to send him to the New York Rangers. We've been talking about this for quite a while. We've known for a few days. It is pretty much agreed to. They just had to wait for the Rangers to make some additional moves and accrue a little additional salary cap space to make it all work out. So it works out to be a 3-team trade because there is a third party brokering the deal, keeping part of Kane's salary. So of course, Patrick Kane's salary with the Blackhawks, they will retain 50% of the contract, which obviously knocks him down to just over $5 million. And then from there, the Arizona Coyotes are the third party in this case. So Kane will be a Coyotes legend for all of about 5 minutes, where they retain an additional 50% of the salary remaining. So 25% of the total, knocking his total salary cap hit down for the New York Rangers to just over $2.6 million. So obviously, like I said, I've been saying for a long time, Kane to the Rangers is very much real possibility, given the fact that when you bring in a third party and you can retain 50% on the original team and then another 50 of the remaining, it makes a huge difference to what the acquiring team has to actually have available. So for the Coyotes' efforts, they get a 2025 third-round pick. So that's certainly not too bad for retaining that kind of money. Now, going to Chicago, there is 2 draft picks. There was a lot of rumors that it could be a couple of picks and at least one prospect. I know Zach Jones, defensive prospect, was a name that was mentioned up there. That was not the case. The Rangers have not given up any players, nothing off the roster, and no prospects. They've given up 2 draft picks here. The first is a second-round conditional pick for 2023, and here's how the condition works. Now, if the condition leads them to stay a second-round pick, they'll get it in this year's draft. If the New York Rangers win 2 playoff rounds this year, the pick upgrades to a first-round pick, which obviously cannot be in 2023. The Rangers have already had that spoken for, so the pick would then move to either 2024 or 2025, which I believe the Rangers have the option of selecting that. So obviously, it can be a first-round pick or it could be a second-round pick. It really all depends on the Rangers' playoff success or lack thereof. And otherwise, they also get a 4th-round pick. So they're either going to have a 1st and a 4th in Chicago or a 2nd and a 4th in Chicago, depending on how the Rangers do in the playoffs after loading up here with Kane and Tarasenko and all the moves they've made to see what they can do here. Certainly going to be interesting to see Kane reunited with his old buddy, old pal, Artemi Panarin. It's quite likely that Patrick Kane will join the Rangers and make his Rangers debut tomorrow as they do battle with the Philadelphia Flyers. It's going to be really weird seeing Kane wear a different uniform. But like I said, this is the only team he would really agree to waive for. I know Blackhawks fans are probably sitting there thinking, wow, this is a really underwhelming return for an all-time great player like this and Patrick Kane. And you might be justified to feel that way. But it's just like when Claude Giroux was traded at the deadline last year. When you have players that have a full no-move clause, a complete control, if they tell the team that they're with, they're only going to wait for one team, that team knows that, and they have all the leverage. The team that's trading Kane or Giroux or whoever else, they don't have leverage. So they're really at the mercy here. They could choose not to accept it, of course, so they have a little bit of leverage, but not much really, right? And you'd rather get something than nothing. So at the end of the day, Kane goes for what might seem to be an underwhelming return. But if the Rangers end up upgrading that pick and have some playoff success and it goes to a first-round pick in 24 or 25, maybe they'll get themselves a really good player. I mean, if the Rangers continue to have success, it may not be a super high pick, but it's still a first-rounder that could lead them to hopefully a player that helps the Blackhawks for a long time afterwards. So we'll have to see how this goes, but Patrick Kane is off to the Big Apple to be a member of the New York Rangers. After loading up like this, are they now the Stanley Cup favorites to come out of the East? It's a bit of an arms race between the Bruins, the Lightning, the Leafs, the Rangers, the Devils. Carolina made a move today, not substantial, but still, they're in there too. Like, it's going to be a slugfest, and it's unfortunate that some of these teams are going to have to lose in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So let me know your thoughts on this deal down in the comments. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. We'll keep you up to date with all the ongoings here for NHL Trade Deadline 2023, and of course, beyond that, with daily updates on all the news and rumors from around the entire NHL. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.